Well, Barack Obama is pissed off. He is not happy that Tulsi Gabbard and the Trump administration have just exposed one of the highest levels of corruption from the executive office that, well, he was involved in. As you know, and as we've been revealing here on my channel, Barack Obama, according to Tulsi Gabbard and the information she has been providing for the American public, Barack Obama and his administration laid the groundwork for what was essentially a years-long coup, if you will, against a sitting president. That is Donald J. Trump. And she has been dropping bombshell after bombshell here on her X page. Now, here's the biggest bombshell that just dropped earlier yesterday, I believe. This is the Office of Public Affairs in the U.S. Department of Justice. Justice Department announces formation of strike force to assess evidence published by, well, Mrs. Tulsi Gabbard. And that's all the information that she has been gathering here. Oh boy, it's about to get crazy because look, let's be frank. Obama doesn't like this information coming out. He's already labeled it as misinformation, as lies. He's telling his minions to do stuff, and he's already plotting and planned the ultimate revenge, I believe. And some of that revenge is coming out now. And a lot of people are actually not talking about it. But the truth of the matter is this new strike force, which is what they're calling it, is really going to expose these scumbags who've been involved in this corruption from the very top. So this actually goes after you could see the Obama administration. That's kind of what it's after. And it's all the typical cronies that we have been hearing about. That would include Obama, Clapper, Comey, Brennan, Andrew McCabe, maybe even Susan Rice, the whole lot of them, and maybe even Hillary Clinton. We know she was involved there in funding some of the Steele dossier that they claim that wasn't used as evidence, yet it was, as we're finding out. But I digress. Either way, some of the people in that are already, I believe one of them came out and admitted that they're already lawyering up. They have it on paid backup already. So they're preparing for something to happen as a result of these investigations. And I think that they really need to take it that way, right? But on top of it all, John Brennan came out, and of course, he's calling this whole thing a lie. Take a listen to what he said here in this interview.
Tulsi Gabbard, she may be impaired on the ethics front, certainly, but she's not impaired on the intellect front. And so I can only presume that she is doing this intentionally mischaracterizing, misrepresenting, and lying about what she has found.
Lying. That is what they're running with. It's like a guy who murdered someone coming out and saying, I didn't murder nobody, or the robber saying, I didn't rob nobody. Of course, I'm innocent. Everybody in prison is innocent. Isn't that kind of the standard lingo? So cue this little hodgepodge here, Brennan, who's saying she's lying. She's lying. This is all they really got right now. Meanwhile, she's got the tangible evidence in her hand showing the American public. I'd like to see what evidence from Mr. John Brennan. Why are you just coming out calling her a liar? Are you scared? Is that all you've got? Are you worried something's about to happen? I do believe that some big names will eventually have to answer for some of these crimes. And that's exactly what they are, crimes. But in the meantime, we have pissed off, and everybody's missing this point. We have pissed off all of these cronies. We pissed off Brennan. We pissed off Comey. We pissed off Clapper. And we pissed off the top of the enchilada there, Mr. Barack Obama. And bang, as all this information comes out, they're doing dirty stuff behind the scenes. And I think we're about to get some news on something big here soon regarding Obama's revenge. And this is a part of what I believe is revenge is. And look, before I show you this article, I want to make this statement. You have to remember that Barack Obama still has people in the FBI, the DOJ, the NSA, in all these different departments that answer to him. I honestly believe that. That's my opinion. That's what I believe he has. I think he's got his tentacles pretty far spread wide. I think he had them spread even wider under the Biden, whatever you want to call it, Biden administration. There, I think he put out his tentacles even further in all these departments. Donald Trump has not had enough time to weed them all out or find out who they all are. It's just impossible to get them all. So he's got tentacles everywhere. So what starts happening as a result? Well, this little number, he sends his military men in, right, to wreak some revenge. Here this is on dailymail.co.uk. Pete Hegseth was hit by a deeply embarrassing allegation as a leaked leader calls for his removal and rips through the Pentagon. Sounds like there's a little uprising within the military and outside of that regarding this. But here's what it says. An effort is underway among some Pentagon officials, so Pentagon officials as well, to denounce Hegseth as unfit to serve as defense secretary. Daily Mail can reveal. It goes on. 3 Pentagon officials, 2 of them are military, there we go, 1 is a civilian, and each with at least 20 years in the department spoke on the condition of anonymity. In other words, we don't want to reveal who our names are, wink and wink. Aside from losing their jobs, they fear prosecution by Trump's administration and being replaced by people with less experience who would be less apt to challenge some of his decisions. Each said the letter calling for his oust wouldn't be made public until next week at the earliest. They described its contents in the meantime with complaints ranging from politicized decision-making to department-wide dysfunction, low morale, and a climate of paranoia driven by what they describe as Hegseth's obsession with rooting out dissent. They're really stretching here. All 3 of these insiders told us the letter cites dysfunctions and chaos in the department due to what they said are Hegseth's intentions to indecision on inconsistencies regarding several military matters, big and small. And these 3 Pentagon officials we spoke with told us that a small group of their colleagues, including officers from all military branches, but not the Coast Guard, and some civilian workers. This is a lot of people, not just 3 we're talking about here. And some civilian workers met at a private home in May to discuss how to get the word out about what they view as Hegseth's incompetence. A small group, including officers from all the branches of the military, except for 1, the Coast Guard, and some civilian workers. This is planning a takeover. I don't know. This is planning to usurp the authority of Pete Hegseth, and they're planning it behind closed doors in a secret meeting. Wow, that sounds a lot like a COUP. Oh, I wonder who's behind this. I'm not saying Obama is behind it, because I sure the hell don't know, but it seems like they're striking at an opportune time. Let's take out some of the main officials here. Replace them with people. Who knows? Here we have a whole group. And they agreed that the message would be strong coming from current rather than retired personnel. So attendees jointly decided to give themselves a few months to agree on the wording of this letter that they're going to send out, and that they would either send it to the media, run it as an ad in a major newspaper, or launch it on social media or a newly created website. They set a deadline for mid-July to finalize the letter so it could be made public by next Friday, the 25th, which marks his half year in office. That would be, I guess, tomorrow. Well, they don't want to jeopardize their career. Why? Because, hey, if I had people working for me, it's just me and my husband. But if I did, and that person was meeting behind closed doors and they wanted to leak to the media how bad of a person I was, I think that person would be fired. Just saying. Pete Hegseth is the responsibility of Donald Trump. Donald Trump appointed him, and appointed him for good reason. There is some revenge that is happening underneath it. And I'm not saying at all that Obama is part of that, but he definitely could inspire stuff like that to happen. This guy's got a lot of power. We're not playing with Play-Doh here when it comes to Obama, or especially Hillary Clinton. That woman is terrifying, because the list of conspiracy theory dead bodies around her is pretty damn massive. Anyway, there's that. If you know, you know. There is so much. But these are people that are going to play dirty. They're not going to go down and just disappear. I want you to know that. And that is one fact that everyone, unfortunately, has been missing. But if you really do want the scoop on what's going on, where we can speak openly and we can speak freely, and I guarantee you, you won't be disappointed, get to restrictedrepublic.com. Sign up right now. Stop this video. Go over there. Sign up today. Use the coupon code LISA and the number 5. That'll get it for $5 per month. That's less than a cup of coffee, a glass of wine, a glass of beer. It's less than that. And we've got great intel that you're not getting anywhere. And we can speak openly and tell you everything that's up on these free platforms here. They're free for a reason. They're not really free. It's free because they control some of the information that is out. That's a platform where that's not happening. So get to restrictedrepublic.com and check it out today. With that, I love you guys. Thank you guys for being here. You mean the world to me. I'm Lisa Haven signing out.